the Champions League is also there. We know the draws for the quarterfinals already. Arsenal will face
Unfortunately, I
Bayern
can't
Munich.
relate.
Real Madrid will entertain Manchester City. Arsenal and City are also in the Champions League running as well. I don't know if that could be a factor, but Liverpool are also in the Europa League, by the way. And I don't want to sing that song, but you know the song already. Then there's also teams like Atletico Madrid also taking an interest, and then there's interesting matchups really, and I don't think also that we've had it more difficult. I think it's a defining moment in football now because particularly since a certain Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo left, you look at the scoring charts, you look at the individual charts, and there are differences. Even for a certain Erling Haaland, it's different from last season. What we saw from him, scoring over 50 goals, breaking records here and there. But now, in the Champions League, you look at the top scorer, we've got to the quarterfinals, and they have just about 6-7 goals. It's not something we're used to over the last 15, 10 years, you know. But hey, we're talking about the Champions League now. Yeah. I mean, it's a proper quarterfinal round. It's a proper fixtures of games. But have you seen enough to determine who the favorites could be now?
For me, I haven't. I haven't seen enough. The favorite has always been Real Madrid. I haven't seen enough. As I said, Man City, they look like a less strong team compared to last season when they won it. Bayern Munich are looking like a Dortmund in red and white. It's not looking all beautiful for them, despite them having Kane and Kim scoring the number of goals he has scored so far this season. It hasn't looked so good for Bayern Munich in the league, and we know their aim right now is the Champions League, winning the Champions League, which they've not done in quite a while. But with the whole issue from the coaching staff, the boardroom, and the likes, is not just looking good for them. Arsenal, for me, it just feels like, how do I put this? The easiest way for me to put it is just it feels like a Leicester winning the Premier League. What year? I think 2015 or so. It is a new hunting ground for them, and no matter where they finish, if they end up in the quarterfinals, it's a success. So they have nothing to lose and everything to win. And going up against a Bayern Munich side, I feel that's the test they actually need to test their confidence, test their mental.
Do you think they passed that test against Bayern Munich? I mean, it's more of a psychological contest.
2 years ago, if they don't, there will be no issues. But this year, now, if they don't, there will be big question marks. It's to test. They will question themselves. It will question their confidence, their mentality. The coach will probably lose it in the dressing room because we know where Bayern Munich.
I've seen him do in some documentaries.
Exactly.
But anyways, let's consider the full fixtures of the quarterfinals. Arsenal against Bayern Munich. We said enough about that already. And then there's Real Madrid versus Manchester City, who have met themselves about 4 times in the last 2 years. There's Paris Saint-Germain versus Barcelona. Remember Le Ramantanda? I mean, it was a fantastic one the last time both sides met. Do we have a second episode of that? Maybe. And then there's Atletico Madrid versus Dortmund. It looks not the most important fixture on paper, but who knows? I mean, how far these two teams can go. But I want us to take straight predictions. Real Madrid, Manchester City. It's a flurry of stars on display in that one. Two teams who know themselves. 2 teams who are really familiar. 2 coaches who are probably the best in football now, without any argument. And Jude Bellingham is also a thing as well. I mean, it's been the glitter arty of the Santiago Bernabeu this time around, this season. I mean, also with Manchester City, they won what their heart was so longing for in the last 10 years, right? But then they finally got what they want last year. Do you think they can do back-to-back as they've done in the Premier League? I mean, what do you guys think about it? What's your thoughts?
So, City, Real Madrid, they cancel each other out, yeah? It's going to be a close affair, in my opinion, because, I mean, the quality is there. But City take it. City will use the experience from last season and the advantage they got as a result of playing Madrid off the park in the previous encounter to take this. Because now this Madrid is different from that Madrid. Not so much difference, but in terms of playing style, in terms of where their approaches to different matches, City take it. I feel and I believe Dortmund will triumph over Atletico Madrid, as insignificant as that fixture might be compared to the others.
Who says so? You say so. I didn't.
In terms of quality, those two really look like children amongst adults. No offense, but it's really not that
we
way,
still have a proper quarterfinal.
Definitely. But I feel Dortmund might just find a way to turn up. They haven't shown the best of forms in this year's Champions League, but they just might turn up against Atletico Madrid. Now, PSG Barcelona, well, PSG tends to do a bottle job.
Okay.
From the round of
almost every quarterfinal.
Oh, exactly.
But you know, I think what makes this pretty much uncertain is the future of Kylian Mbappe.
Definitely.
I mean,
yes.
it's going to be a talking point going into that fixture, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel it will work against them because that will be too much of a distraction given the type of fixture it is. Barcelona are not in the best of places with the financial debt, financial difficulties.
Yeah, they're not in the best of places. But on the flip side, Ronti, Xavi Hernandez has announced that he will leave at the end of the season. This sort of lifts some form of pressure, if you may, from the team, maybe from Xavi. I mean, the expectations are toned down already.
Well, obviously, he wants to leave, but the question is, do the club want him to leave? That I don't feel, because as Victor has said, they don't have the financial capacity to probably get another coach, sign the players they want. And this is Xavi is someone who has a good knowledge of imbibing the youth, the guys from the youth system into the first team, which he has done a couple of times this season.
Not a couple of times, almost every week.
Yeah, successfully.
Almost every week we've seen a young staff from the La
them,
Masia Academy.
He's not just bringing them just to play, they are excelling. And that's something you want from your coach, especially when you're having these financial questions hovering around your head. Him wanting to leave, as you said, definitely it gives a lift to the confidence in the team. The players would love to play for him, given the fact that his first 2 seasons or so, his first season, he brought the trophy, the La Liga trophy to the club.
And they were absolutely adored because he was a fantastic player.
He's a legend of the club. So, trust me, in my opinion, he needs to stay. They need to convince him to stay. He's the best guy for the job right now.